Hi guys, welcome. This is Lone and Lattes. My name is Yessie.
I'm Jessica.
I'm Eileen.
And this is the first episode of our podcast. This is something new. This is something fun that we're going to do. We're going to talk about a lot of things and just keep it real, right?
Yeah, pretty much. We're just going to talk about ourselves, the day-to-day, and also talk about what's going on in the mortgage world as well.
All right, so do you guys want to let everyone know how you guys got started in the mortgage world?
I would love to. So I have family members that are in the real estate business. Me personally, I've always been a fan of numbers. So in school, it's always been numbers, science. So I decided to go this route, and it's been a hell of a ride.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
My story's a little longer, all right? Just because
We got time, don't worry.
I'm long-winded. But no, I was a stay-at-home mom, living the same day every single day. And I started getting desperate. I was like, I need something else in my life. My kids were starting to get bigger. They were starting school and stuff like that. And one day I was desperate, and I reached out to my friend who's a realtor. You guys know her. And she was like, why don't you become an LO? And I'm like,
What's that?
no, I knew what it was because I had bought a house a year or two prior. So I was like, I never thought about that. And I looked into it, and I was like, you know what? I think I could do this. And so I've been in the game for about 5-6 years now, and yeah, it's
decision.
fun. It's a good decision. It's fun.
Feels like 10, 15? That it feels like 10 or 15
Oh,
instead
it feels
of
like
35?
35.
Well, and for me, it's basically, I was working the same job, 9 to 5, and it was kind of very routine. And it was fine for the most part, it was fine. But then I had a baby. So at that point, I was like, I can't be doing the same kind of
you have
schedule.
To have more time.
Yeah, I needed more time. I felt like I was working all the time, seeing the baby 1 hour in the morning and then 1 hour at night, and that's it. That was my whole day. So I had to do something different. I actually reached out to one of my friends who was opening up a mortgage company. And they basically told me, hey, look, we're opening up a new company. Why don't you try to get your license? And at that point, that's when I started researching it, like what can I do to get this license? And yeah, and after a while, I just kind of got it and never looked back. I don't want to ever go back to the 9 to 5 corporate life. I can't do that. I just can't.
Not that there's anything wrong, but I left something out. I'm also a mom. I have a 3-year-old that's a ball of fire. But I mean, in our perspective, we wanted more time for our families. We wanted a good career that could provide for us and our family. So it does give us the flexibility to do that.
For sure.
But yeah, definitely. And I also left something out. I did mine quick.
You did really fast.
No, I also worked in the airport for about 4 years before COVID. And the very last year, my baby was a COVID baby. He was born in 2020. But it was that time in March of 2020 that everything got really bad. The airport closed down, and I was sent home. It was good, but I was getting paid, by unemployment. It was a really tough time for everybody, in the country, I think.
Yeah.
But I was also home. I had a COVID job, and then I came across, like I said before, my family members have been in real estate. They provided this idea, and honestly, I loved it because that's what you said. It's the flexibility, it's the family, it's the income, and if you really stick to it and you become successful, it's like anything. You just have to work hard.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Yeah.
we're all moms. We're all fun-loving moms that are gonna talk about a lot of relatable things about job, home, funny things that we've come up
Experience.
Yeah, scenarios that you're like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of things happen. It's very challenging, and it's very rewarding at the same time. Where the families you can help as well. So
Stressful, anxiety, happiness, fun. It's a lot of mixed emotions that everybody in any job can have, but like anything, you just have to stick to it. And this is also gonna be a channel where we're gonna teach a lot of things about the pre-qualification processes, the programs that are out there for different people. So stay tuned. There's a lot coming.
All right. So, you know what? Something that I wanted well, I mentioned to them already, but I would like to have like a little segment where we have like our peaks and pits of the week. Like, what is something amazing that happened this week, and what is something that you're like, what did that have to happen?
Yeah.
So, Eileen, you want to start off, or you need time to think? I know I threw this on you.
Yeah, I didn't know this was part of the segment. I thought we were here to introduce ourselves. Come back to me.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go. So I've had a rough December. A family member of mine unfortunately passed away, and it was a whole ordeal. It was in another. I'm from Cuba. I'm Cuban, Hispanic. So we had to travel back and forth throughout the month of December. So, it was hard for work. It was hard for me in general and my family. So now I'm kind of getting back into it,
Getting into the rhythm of things again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking to clients, calling them, wishing them a happy new year, and just getting back to the positive, because I think that we can't, unfortunate things happen, but we have to keep a positive mindset to keep moving forward. And that's what I'm working on right now.
Okay. So that's your peak and your pit?
Yeah, it's kind of.
It's combined.
It is combined. It's terrible.
Well, let me see. A peak for me. Now, okay, this one is a combined peak and pit as well. I got a new contract, which I'm
Yay!
like,
Woo! That's always happy news.
yeah, that's always happy news. But it does involve a down payment assistance grant with the city of Boca. So that does have me a little nervous when we're dealing with down payment assistance programs with the counties or the cities. It's always like you don't find out if they're approved for it until you've already gone through like half of the loan process. So it's kind of my peak and pit, like the fact that I'm excited, but I'm like,
But
what
you
if
can't be too excited yet.
what if it
you
falls
know?
through because the city and they need it? Like, it's not like they can go without it. So that's the scary part, is that's my peak and my pit it's combined. So
It's challenging. It's definitely challenging because we want to help the clients to the best of our abilities, but sometimes, and unfortunately, this is with everybody and everybody's job, right? Something always goes wrong.
yeah.
With us, I think it's more not often than often. All of us are pretty good at what we do. We anticipate what would happen wrong and just try to overcome it, because that's what it really is. Just overcome whatever is going on and go ahead.
The issue is that there's so many hands involved in the transaction
Right.
that any little thing can go wrong, and that's what's so, like, we go through this stress every month.
Yeah, you're just like waiting for everyone else to do their job, which
Yes.
is the hard part, because you're just sitting there just babysitting until you get to the final.
It's like you're on everybody's time, right? You're not on
Yes,
your time.
exactly.
If it was our time, it would be
forget
like,
it.
it was
We'll be
like,
Okay, we're done.
go, 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 go.
No, but like the recent closing I did, they were like, oh my god, this was so stressful. You had me stressed every day because I didn't know that. And I'm like, imagine me, I go through this every month because I
You're not
take
the only
on-
client
yeah,
that I'm doing this.
I absorb the stress with them, because obviously we have people's deposits at risk.
Yeah.
So it's very scary. So yeah, we go through a lot of stress. This should turn into a margarita soon.
But it's also very rewarding, right? When you get to that closing table and you take that final picture and the families are happy and we
They're
take them their
grateful.
little gift.
Yeah, they're super grateful.
It's
sure.
amazing, honestly.
Yeah.
But surprise questions. Are you guys ready?
Oh my god.
What about my peak and pit?
We did forget. Go. Surprise questions after.
Okay, so
Yes, he has the little surprise. Surprise questions, guys.
surprise.
Surprise quiz, pop quiz. Remember that at school?
Thanks a lot.
Well, for me, I guess I can say the peak right now is that I'm partnering up with realtors, trying to get like a sort of marketing thing going on with them whether it's with Zillow leads and that kind of stuff. I'm trying to just focus on that, invest in myself and in realtors as well that are partners this year. That's like my goal. But obviously the pit would be like, it's slow. Right now it's January, people aren't spending as much.
It's
know,
New Year's.
New
People are
Year,
getting
yeah.
back into their work routine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's slow. So I guess eventually that will not be a pit. It'll be a peak. Oh, I've got a lot of leads from what I did in January.
Exactly.
And so on and so forth. So that's basically it
Now,
for now.
have you done Zillow leads before? Like,
This is the first time I do it.
okay.
I'm doing it right now currently with one realtor, and she's great. And I know she's hardworking, so it was like I felt like it was a good fit to make
an
that decision.
investment. And a good
It's a
investment.
good investment.
can you explain now if you're not like deep into it yet, because you said this is your first
Yeah, I
time
just
doing
started
Zillow
it.
leads, but if you can explain a little bit of like how does that even work, because I want to get into that as well, and I know agents that don't like some. I told someone about Zillow leads, and she's like, "How does that work?" And I'm like, "Wait a minute."
I mean, I'm not too knowledgeable about it, but from what she told me about it was that I think realtors get they get like a map of zip codes, right?
Okay.
And then if there's a certain zip code available to purchase, then that's the one that they purchase. That's the one that they communicate with their preferred lender.
Okay.
However the cost is that you would go ahead and help each other out, and then basically whatever listing that's in that zip code, a client will be like, hey, I'm interested in this house, and then at that point they reach out to the realtor. You'll get an email notification, hey, a lead came to this person, like to this realtor,
okay.
and then then you reach out or you talk to the realtor. Okay, how do we go about this?
Okay.
Do you want to contact them first? Then I'll go ahead. You figure out like a strategy basically.
Okay.
But I mean, for the most part, I mean, it looks great. Like I don't think that's something accessible for us as mortgage brokers.
Not alone. Not
No.
alone. You have to be partner. I do know
Yeah.
that you have to be partner up with a realtor, and then
Yeah.
the realtor is the one that's. It's like you co-brand.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
type of
exactly what
thing.
you're doing. Because if you look at it, you see like their information, and then it says prefer lender, and it's you.
Ah, okay.
So it's nice. I mean, it's a great way to help each other out when it comes to your business.
Of course, support each
So,
other.
Exactly.
I mean, I've experienced it from like the person interested, like the buyer side of it, like because when it says, yeah, if you want more information, click here and put your info, and I'm here thinking that I'm messaging the listing agent, and no, it goes to a random realtor, and then they reach out to you. So I'm assuming that's what it is.
Yeah,
okay.
they have like I guess they have ownership of that zip code up until a certain point, right? Because I think you
Yeah.
have to pay a certain amount of months or like a contract. It's kind of like a contract, I
Yeah.
think. So for now, let's see how it goes. I mean, I'm really excited to work with her, and I'm also excited to try this different type of marketing.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing like little marketings here and there, like whether it's like the little door hangers in the
Yeah.
neighborhood.
Yeah, to see what works.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this-
you have to try everything.
yeah, I'm even in my local gym. They have like an advertisement thing
Oh, yeah.
on the TV screen.
I
that kind
saw that. I remember. That is
so
really cool.
Little things like that,
Yeah.
And it's affordable. It's not breaking the bank. So
Okay, okay.
yeah,
Well, keep
I
us
think, yeah.
posted on that, because I am interested in learning about that, so
Yeah.
I can take advantage of it.
Of course, definitely.
All right, yes, we're ready for your
Surprise questions.
questions.
Drum roll. Okay.
All right, what?
Eileen,
What's up?
what has been your fastest closing?
Well, it would have to be. It just so happened to be one of my friends. We went to high school together, and she reached out, and we were able to close her loan. Oh my God, it was so fast. Like I want to say we got the CTC like in 6 days, something like that. I can't remember, but it was just she was like the perfect borrower, like
Yeah.
Nice.
perfect income, perfect like she barely had anything on her credit. Like she did everything the way you're supposed to do it. And no, she was a great client too. So that's a plus. The fact that you say, hey, I need this, and it's like
Very
a minute later,
responsive.
Here you go.
Yeah.
it was in my inbox. I'm like, oh, this is so weird.
And it's in PDF format.
Yes, no, it's just perfect. So yeah, and I was really proud of that one because it was her. It was a friend. of mine's.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Jessica, you're up.
Oh, my same question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same question for
Well,
you.
I did get a 5-day CTC. That right there has never ever happened to me before. When I got that, I was like, yo, but it was like a rescue deal. So everything had already been done, like appraisal and title, like all that stuff was already ready. It was that I was the lender for the buyer. The buyer was selling his home, and the person buying his home kept like stringing us along. It was like 2 months in, and I'm like, wait. I was like, they wanted another extension. I was like, no way, this cannot be. So I said, we need to know what's going on, because what are we gonna extend it to infinity? What's going on here? And it turns out that he was trying really hard to get like an FHA deal, but he was self-employed, and he didn't file his tax returns correctly the previous year,
goodness.
but he wanted to do, and we're like, bro, this is a mess. Stop. Go bank statement route. file your taxes the right way this coming year and then refinance later. But
Yeah.
if not, your escrow will be lost because they're not going to extend one more time. They're buying their house, which they were waiting on the sale of this property to happen to purchase that one. So that one was a fast one, only because everything on that side was already done. So it was just
Like
basically submitting, getting the conditions, which we had most of them, and just resubmitting that same day. Amazing. I was like, yo,
I'm surprised
insane.
they didn't suggest that, like the other lender, to just go bank statement if they're not able to do.
You know
FHA.
what it was is that that other lender, I'm sure, did say that, but didn't know how to sell him on it, like letting him know that, listen, this is your best option.
Your only
Sometimes we're giving you the best advice we could give you, but some people are so hard-headed, they want things a certain way, and no, we're trying to tell you this is the best route. This is what you could do after to get an even better deal. But it was the one where I talked to him, and it was like when he hung up, everybody was like, wow, like drop the mic. The way that he spoke to him was like, listen, buddy, your taxes from last year, it's not going to work out, period. And the guy was like, fine, okay, you want to close, this is the route you have to go. Okay, perfect. And then we hung up the call, and the guy was on board to go bank statement, you know?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time, I think because we're handling people's finances, like, I mean, I'm guilty of it as well. Like, you kind of tippy toe because you kind of like, you know, want the client happy and not get them upset and just say, I'm just gonna leave and go find someone else. And just kind of tell them, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and do an FHA if that's what you really want. But
Exactly.
at the end of the day, like, that would be doing a disservice because the guy could lose his deposit, the guy could lose the house. So at that point, yeah, you're right. You have to be a little more assertive in certain situations. Just kind of just say, hey, look, we gotta go bank statement. It's not gonna be 3.5 down. No, we're gonna go ahead and do this type of bank statement deal, and that's it.
No, and the stress that comes with that, because I've done that before. I try to make them happy by giving them what they want, even though really this is the way we should go. But I'm like, okay.
I guess it comes with time.
Yeah.
It comes with time that you're like, look, no.
Well, you have to inform.
Experiencing that
yes.
stress, experiencing those hiccups, and saying, listen, I've been here, I've done that. This is not the way to go. If you want this to go seamless, if you want to get you the house, which is the ultimate, you know, reward,
The ultimate goal.
is you need to go this way, and that's it.
And it's all about informing the client also too, right? Because
you have to
you
educate
have
them. They don't know any better.
educate, advise. Sorry, guys. Educate, advise, and just provide facts. Compare the two situations. Listen, this way you're at risk of many things, depending on what the loan is, and here is your best, most straight up option, which will guarantee success. And that's it.
100%.
Everything will go from there. Everything will work out itself alone, right?
Period.
I like that one though. I like that one. What about you?
Well, I'm still trying to beat mine. My soonest CTC have been in 12 days.
Okay, good.
Nice.
That's so good.
So no, it's not bad
But
at
that's
all.
with appraisal and everything.
That's with appraisal and
That's
everything.
why.
That's a good average to have.
No,
yeah,
of
no,
course.
definitely.
But I'm trying to beat my own record
100%.
to do it faster.
Yeah.
It's okay. We're all trying to grow, get better. You know, that's part of it.
No, but
I
that's fast
feel-
too.
Yeah, it
Even
is.
12
It
days
is. It is fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you close 1 or 2 days after, so it's actually like a 15-day closing from like start to finish. So
Exactly. No, either way, you're gonna look, you know, impressive to
Yeah.
the buyers, to the agents involved. Like, yeah, because people are, unfortunately, you know, I think maybe it's a Florida thing, maybe, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's 30 days or more. Or, you know, like how you said your story, like they're just dragging and dragging. Why?
Exactly.
If you did everything you were supposed to do when you're getting them pre-qualified, like at that point, it's just submitting all the documents you already have, maybe updating a bank statement or two or whatever, and that's about it. But a lot of things kind of are, I don't know, people do it backwards. Like they ask for all the things. Okay, we're under contract. Let's go ahead and ask for this. No, this should have been done a while ago.
Prior.
Yeah.
Prior,
We should
so-
have calculated your income with your taxes a while ago.
Yeah.
We should have, you know, done all that stuff before.
Well, that's
you
the
know?
appropriate way of doing
Yeah,
it.
of
That's the
course.
appropriate way. Whoever's not doing it that way,
Rest in
because,
peace.
because how do you go based off their word? You know that people don't really.
Yeah,
it's
no.
crazy to me that, but people. Actually, I can't say it's crazy to me because I was that person as well. But until I got into this job, I didn't know how to look at my pay stub. I didn't know what I was looking at, what my year to date was, or what you get me. Like so, a lot of people don't know what their actual
Yeah.
pay is. You know, until we look at those pay stubs and we're like, okay, well, but also we have to average sometimes, so it's different. You know, it's different for everybody.
What has been the craziest situation that you guys have experienced so far in your career?
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's crazy because I know things like this happen. If anything, it's the one I kind of think about all the time. And it wasn't like my fault. It was that one deal that like, you know, in the industry we say when a deal doesn't go through, like the deal's dead, basically. And it wasn't something that I did, but it was one of those things that it still kind of hurt me because I didn't get it to the finish line. And it was basically a client was trying to buy an investment property down in the Keys, and he had some funds, but then he also needed the funds of a sale of a condo that he currently had for sale. And come to find out, the person it was under contract, but the person that was going to buy the condo put 5% down, and then the lender that person was working with was like, oh, the condo doesn't have reserves. Now you have to put another 20. And the guy's like, I don't have that. I only have 5% down. So at that point, now that condo is not selling, and now this guy is scrambling to basically find the rest of the funds, right? And because it's an investment property, it's not like he can get a gift. So at this point, we had to try to see if we can get like another borrower to come in, and then long story short, it didn't work out, but I mean, it wasn't because of something that I did. It was just more like
It's one of those things
it was just very
that just
complicated.
happened.
And I still think about it. The guy ended up being able to buy. He bought it cash, like it was like a $750,000 property cash.
Oh my God.
But he wanted to finance it, which I get it because
Right.
at the end of the day, he was gonna completely gut it, and he needed the funds. But whatever, it is what it is. You win some, you lose some, and you learn from it.
That's the business.
Yeah.
That's the business.
Well, you know what? Now that you say that, I learned because I did a realtor training on non-QM, and I saw that Angel Oak offers a delayed financing, where people could still put the cash offer because in the pandemic, people were going crazy, and cash is king. The cash offer is always going to seem more enticing to a seller than a financing. So I was reading that they could still put the cash offer and then basically like buy the home off themselves and get the financing to them. So they don't put all their funds into the home.
Yeah.
They put the cash offer and get the loan to pay them out. So now you know for the next time.
Yeah. Hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Yes.
You don't want it to happen again.
But at least you learn. That was like really in the beginning of my career. So you kind of learn those things. You write them down. Like that's not happening again.
Yes,
And
I
then
feel like
move on.
that's when we have the hardest ones. Is in the beginning when we're learning.
Yeah.
When we're
Because
learning.
mine was in the beginning as well. No, mine was a show. So, I don't know if we can curse here. Now we haven't established the rules. It was this guy that he came to get pre-approved. I was learning. I was brand new in the business. My branch manager at the time, because I used to work in retail lending. Okay, now I'm on the broker side, but back when I was in retail, I was learning, and the branch manager was sitting in with me, helping me qualify his income, because I really, when you take the test to become a mortgage loan officer, they don't really teach you how to be a mortgage loan officer. They teach you how not to go to jail,
Yeah.
and that's it. But they don't
Don't
teach
break the
you.
laws because we'll hit you with a
Laws.
fine or jail time.
They don't teach you how to actually be a loan officer and how to calculate income and how to, all the little rules and guidelines that come with it.
Yeah.
And so he was helping me calculate income and the pay stubs, whatever. We pre-approve him. He goes out to look. It takes him like a month or two. When he finally goes under contract, I asked him for an updated pay stub. When that pay stub came in, all of a sudden there was child support on there.
Oh my
that
God.
wasn't on the last pay stub. Oh my God, that threw his DTI off. Since I didn't know anything really, I was really letting my branch manager kind of take the lead. I don't know what ended up happening, but it ended up with the guy coming to the office to pick up his papers, getting into a fight with my branch manager, getting into a screaming match, and I'm like, what is this? What did I get myself into? Like, people are here fighting. Oh my God, pretty much.
tough.
That guy never called me back or anything like that. So yeah, it was a nightmare. Never again.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That's
But
part of it. Unfortunately.
coincidentally, mine is also the beginning.
No, all our stories are probably gonna be from the
It was actually my
beginning.
second deal. My first one honestly went pretty smoothly. But let me tell you, I got lucky because my first deal did also have the child support hidden,
Look at that.
and it wasn't hidden. It was in the bank statements, but it's one of those things that because you don't have that experience, you didn't even notice.
Yeah.
But thank God that the DTI was able to take it.
Yeah.
Or I think we also remembered so we can have enough space in the DTI that we refinanced the car. and it was
A lot of moving pieces that helped you learn.
But
for-
it
next
was
time.
it was able to, we moved the right pieces to get to that closing, and thank God that I did. But it was in my second deal.
That's the messed up part, is that we learn the most in the deals that go wrong and the deals
That's
that
what
you
makes
have
us.
to.
That's what makes us be successful and better loan officers, because we have that experience. We already know what to look for in certain condos, in certain the dogs of the family, in the houses, in everything,
And it's kind of sad to say this, but unfortunately, it's a lot of the Florida stuff.
I've only dealt with Florida, so
We've only dealt with
Eileen is special because she got Florida and
Oh,
Georgia.
yeah.
No, but still, like, no, from what I'm seeing and from what I've heard, you know, from other states,
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, it was smooth, but
And hold on, not
know.
even Florida in general, just South Florida. Because anything above West Palm Beach, I think it's just more pleasant working with anyone above that. We have a bad rep. I'm sorry. South Florida has a bad rep.
we have complicated characters, to say the least. No, but it's okay. I mean,
yeah, we make it work,
that's
you know?
part of the business.
It
Like
just-
I
it
like
makes,
to
it
say
makes it
also.
tougher, but, you know, we'll get there.
Yeah.
you
But
know?
that's what makes us good. We know how to deal with all those like stumps and the wall hitting and just the what blocks you. You just have to get over it, and that's what makes us better. We
keep
know.
That's true.
But to finish my story, it was tough. It was tough. It was a lot of stress. I lost like 5 pounds in like.
Coño, I need to go through one of those deals.
Girl, I promise you don't. I promise you don't. I get hot from just talking about it. Oh my God, I can't. It was a client buying a condo, and it wasn't like how you said, it wasn't nothing to do with me specifically, but it was the property, right? It was a very old condominium. It had a lot of issues, and it turned out that not a lot of banks or no banks wanted to fund.
They financed the.
That specific condominium. Yeah, it was. The borrower he was straight up. He was a business owner. He had his taxes. Everything was good. They asked me, the banks conditioned me in more things about the property than they did of the borrower. So it wasn't even depending on me. Nothing that I could touch. Nothing that I could handle. Right? Because when you have an issue with a borrower, exactly. When you have an issue with a borrower, you try to just overcome it. But you know, this was the association. It was the condominium. It was the 40-year certificate that it was.
Yeah, it's a
The
lot.
certification that it had a lot of issues. It was complicated.
Yeah.
And I didn't know any better. It was my second deal. I was like, how can this one go so wrong when my first one went so well? It was challenging.
And you take it, and like you, I guess not. I don't want to say you take it personally, but you kind of do. I guess you start thinking like, what did I do wrong?
Yes.
Like,
You start
and it's
questioning
like-
yourself. It was like, what could you have done better? But I mean, really, no.
Nothing.
To look back,
Tear down
you
the
couldn't
condo and
everything
build
for real. Like, break down the building and build it up again. But
I'm gonna be honest. That's why I don't like working with condos. When people want to buy condos, I'm like, because condos is a single family home is
complicated.
easy. It's just an appraisal. Hopefully everything comes back fine, which you know already by
Which
the inspection
and still
that it's okay. But yeah, condos, it could be a million things. So that's why I prefer not working with them. But obviously, if my client wants to buy one, I'm gonna
No,
I'm gonna
of
join them for
course,
the
you're
ride.
not
Put up our
gonna-
sleeves. All right, let's do this.
get ready. Get ready for the ride. No.
Yeah.
I mean, and not all of them are
Yeah,
that
not all
like
of
that.
them,
It's just the older buildings. It's just the older buildings that, you know, do tend to have those issues. But but it's been a hell of a ride, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
From the beginning to now the present.
I know. And then now we're starting fresh, 2024, and
A lot of goals,
yeah.
a lot of, you know, planning.
100%.
I'm focusing a lot of marketing.
Yes.
I'm focusing a lot of
Invest in
marketing
you, and
because
the universe will provide.
yeah.
Especially with the market changing.
Yeah.
With the market changing and the rates expected to come down, we are expecting more buyers in the market. So basically, we do have to focus a lot on marketing, getting our face out there, and just giving people the information that they need to make the right choice, a smart decision. So marketing is very important, especially in this market.
industry.
Yeah, you gotta invest in yourself. That's for sure. And I'm learning that as well now. But yeah, that's basically it.
So what is something, because to close this out,
Yeah.
what is something that you learned, like a tip that you want to give everyone before we close this out and say goodbye and thank you for joining us on our first episode, is what is a tip that you would want to give everyone that is looking to buy or refinance or sell or whatever, anything that has to involve a real estate property?
Okay, so let's say you're a client that says, okay, well, I guess my lease is about to come to an end in a few months. Give yourself that time. Yeah, it's a few months, but give yourself that time to get yourself ready.
Qualified,
Yeah.
the looking, the
Exactly. Well, not even the looking part. It's just more on paper. Make sure that you're the right candidate for whenever your lease is about to. Let's say in a month, you got a month left. All right, I already spoke to Eileen like 3 months ago. I was already on pace and getting to where I need to be. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything that she told me not to do. Basically, I didn't buy a car. I didn't max out my credit cards. I listened to what she told me 3 months ago, so that way I'm ready. So that's my advice would be that to start getting yourself ready months before. Not, hey, you know what? My lease is about to end in a week. I got this.
let's do this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Let's
buy a
do
house
this.
because maybe you don't qualify at that moment. At that point,
And then
what
you're
do you
stuck.
do?
And then you're
Yeah,
stuck
you gotta
because you have
renew
to
it,
look for
or
something
month to
new.
month, or I don't know, or they probably might increase your rent. You never know. Nowadays, it's really challenging when it comes to rent, so you might as well buy it. So that's my opinion.
Okay.
I would say, specifically at this time where we are in the year, we're at the beginning of the year, you're getting ready to get your taxes going, to file. Speak to your mortgage consultant first. If you're thinking about possibly buying this year, speak to your mortgage consultant, right? Because they'll be able to provide ideas, take a look at your paperwork even before you head to your CPA or taxpayer preparer, just plan ahead, have a clear heading, a clear goal, and speak to your mortgage advisor. They'll take it from there, or if not, give us a call.
Okay. And to piggyback off Yesie's, right? Because she's talking about tax time, right? So a lot of self-employed people, we're talking about them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because self-employed people do have that flexibility with claiming what they earned or what expenses they had and what they brought home, how much money they brought home at the end of the year. Now, if they don't want to go that route, they don't want to try to claim more money, like less expenses,
or
just
if
to
they
qualify.
had, or if they had more expenses than expected.
Yeah, or you get me? If they don't want to say, oh, I actually didn't have these expenses just so they could qualify, then their other option is a bank statement route. It's a very easy 12 months of statements, calculate using all the deposits, the average of the deposits to qualify with that income, and then they could put money towards their house instead of so much money towards Uncle Sam.
No, and the cool thing about bank statements, you can either do personal or you can do business.
Yeah.
Obviously, business you'll generate more, but there's some clients that get everything through their personal because it's maybe a small business,
Yeah.
nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So those are good routes to have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, we've come to an end. Thank you guys for listening in. We have a bunch of new and fun stuff for the second episode.
we have some exciting guests that
Yes.
will join us eventually.
Eventually, yes. They have to sign waivers and stuff, but
Yeah. All right. Thank you for spending this time with us, and we hope we taught you something. And yeah, you have a good day.
If you guys have any questions, send them in. Write to us. We'll post in Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We'll give the details later on in towards the end of the video, so you guys can subscribe, provide ideas of what you guys might want to listen, or any advice that you guys might want to have. Anything. We'll talk about anything and everything, and I'm just happy to get this started with my girls, and let's see. Join us for episode 2. Stay tuned. Bye.